All right, man. Detroit Lions defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. It was lit. I believe Philadelphia and New York Jets, they end up picking that to be the game of the week. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the game that was syndicated across America. So, but we got the dub. It was a good game. The Lions finally made some shake in the fourth quarter. They won 20-6. I literally just jumped out the bed. Literally just jumped out the bed. So I chose to watch the game from the bed today. I've been resting all weekend, man. So when I get an opportunity to actually rest and settle down, which is slim to none, it usually don't happen. Then uh, gotta take advantage of that. Gotta get that rest. But it was a good game. I thought Tampa Bay had a good chance of winning. There was a number of injuries that 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 went down. Once you was talking about Brian Branch and Will Harris stepping in. That was a huge significant one. And you just see, Kirby Joseph getting matched up on the slot, which it was Palmer or which it was Godwin, which they missed a couple throws to Palmer, the rookie. They missed a couple throws to him down the field. And what actually happened with those throws was you getting a safety on a receiver. Kirby Joseph, he's not accustomed to guarding that receiver, but when you don't have Brian Branch, you don't have Gardner Johnson, now teams are going to exploit that slot. But one thing I will say about the defense, everybody worked in conjunction. The front end, they wasn't fantastic at getting sacks on Baker. The linebackers did a great job. The back end did a great job. And it's not too long ago where, the back end, we seen a lot of the back end guys. Um, the DBs, they didn't know how to get their head around and play the ball. We seen that a lot over the course of years with the Detroit Lions, man. And they not playing the ball. And today there was a lot of great ball skills. Cam Sutton, Jerry Jacobs. Everybody. Will Harris had the big pick in the first quarter that put us on the board with 3. And I just think when you on the road, I think you have to be conservative and you have to take those points. I think when you're on the road, I said again, you have to be conservative and take those points. And I love the conservative play calling. You didn't want to. You got a free points in the red zone. Obviously, after the pick, you wanted to probably score 7 or score 6, but they took the scenic route, and the scenic route was just let's play conservative, let's kick 3 points, let's get this free 3 points and get it rolling. And sometimes that's all you need is just to see some points go on the board. Um, See some points go on the board to build some type of confidence, and that's what happened. Um, like I said today, the DBs played the ball well, turning their head around, man. Couldn't be prouder of them because for years we watched the Bill Bentleys, the Aaron Berries, the Alex Carters, um, the Chris Houstons, not being able to get their head around and play the ball, and DBs like receivers like Brandon Marshall, putting they Johnson all over our DB's head because our DBs couldn't stop, couldn't turn around and play the ball. So you're appreciative to see that. And today, St. Brown was a machine, man. When you look through the stats, he had a career high 12 balls caught. Pause. Um, Jared Goff was good today. I think it was an adjustment made in the second half by Goff and Ben Johnson. And we'll speak on it. Didn't run the ball particularly well today, right? Tampa Bay has, even before Brady got there, they've been pretty much known pretty well for stopping the run. But today, dismayed, they couldn't run the ball either. And they not known for running the ball even when Brady was there. But St. Brown had 12 catches. That's a career high, 124 1 TD. Jameson had the big catch. I'm gonna get to him. Laporta, you can, tell didn't have a great game. Levante Davis, a really good linebacker, athletic. But I think the calf injury kind of bothered Laporta. You probably was better off going with Brock Wright today. But the problem with Brock Wright is they don't have James Mitchell neither. So it's pretty much how Laporta really had to go. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have much behind him. So if he can go, you can go. He still had a solid game, 4 catches, 36 yards, but he wasn't at 100%. And over there, I thought they would exploit Godwin a little bit more. Mike Evans had a big drop. But they still at the top of that division where New Orleans losing today. You know, um, turnovers, they had the pick. That was the difference. Um, they got a couple sacks up front, man. I don't know when Joe Tryon added the Shinoki to the end of his name, but I liked him coming out of Washington. They bought a lot of blitzes, but in the second half, at halftime, they made an adjustment, and that's what happened. They made a huge adjustment to picking up the blitzes, picking up them zone blitzes, exploiting the blitzes, and they really utilized St. Brown. Now, if Sam Laporta was 100% healthy, I don't even think we would be having this conversation right now. That St. Brown had 12 catches. I think some of them catches would have been between Sam Laporta and St. Brown. That's my humble opinion. I think once again, I say some of them catches would have been between Sam Laporta and Jameson. I mean, in St. Brown, they would have split those those catches, but for the most part, they didn't. He wasn't 100% healthy. He got the opportunities, the targets, but he didn't make the catches. So you go to St. Brown, and with his own coverage, they just had no answer for St. Brown. If you bracket them, then you had to worry about Josh Reynolds. Then you open up one-on-ones for Laporta, which I would have took my thing. And then they did one of the best adjustments they did in the game was put Jameson Williams in the game. We just was talking shit about how they should put Jameson in the game or he wasn't ready, whatever. And Jameson Williams came in there and did his thing. People talking about he dropped the ball. That comeback route, that's not a drop. That comeback route was not a drop. They talking about, well, Goff got to get there. Goff had pressure in his face. Goff, it really wasn't possible. You know what I'm saying? Unless they picked up the blitz a little bit better. Then you lose David Montgomery, you lose pass protection. Remember last time we lost David Montgomery, it resorted into a pick. You know what I'm saying? I forget who he's playing. It resorted into a pick. It might have been Seattle. And Jahmyr Gibbs then pick up the pass protection, and that's one of the things that you get when you lose David Montgomery to the naked eye. You forget you don't have a pass pro. You seen times today where Craig Reynolds wasn't great in pass protection, but he had the huge monstrous block on the Tampa Bay defender to open up the first touchdown of the game, and it was St. Brown, his only touchdown. And that was a monstrous block. And, you see why people love him. Got his first touchdown last week. But what you got to kind of understand, too, is David Montgomery's in the game over Jahmyr Gibbs because stuff like pass protection, being able to retain the information, many repetitions in the league. He has that experience. All right. So, and then you carry on and you start thinking like, okay, where's Jameson Williams? They can use him. Khalif Raymond out there getting targets and then again, he makes a catch. And then the comeback route, Goff, that's not a drop. Goff, that was uncatchable. Goff couldn't get it there. And then you see on third downs coming out the bunch, he gets a free release in zone coverage, and there he goes. Touchdown. That's what he can do. That's what you got to respect. And when you get a safety, they might have been in some type of cover 4, I think, cover 3, I'm not sure. But you get a safety on Jameson Williams and a safety that couldn't get his head around. There was no way that safety was going to get his head around in that situation. He was making up too much ground to get to Jameson Williams. Then James had to wait for the ball. Yeah, but then again, with how the end zone is made, you don't want Jameson worried about, catching over the head and putting 2 feet in. I think Goff put the ball right where he needed to be. The defender was coming in pursuit. He let Jameson Williams make the adjustment to the ball. Touchdown. So they're going to need that aspect in the starting lineup. They're going to need that guy that's going to be able to stretch the defense in the lineup. It's imperative. Reynolds can do some of those things, and Reynolds is really good at stretching the floor and stretching the field and picking up chunk plays. But Reynolds will really benefit St. Brown, Laporta, will really benefit from Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs being more being in the passing game. And at this point, you just got to give the kids the keys, give the kids the key to the car. And Jahmyr, whatever he can give you underneath and running those low Texas and option routes, you need it. And Jameson give you stretching the field, that's going to open up everything else to running game in the middle of the field. So at this point, you just kind of, They got to plan to ease them in there. You don't want to give somebody something they don't deserve, but at this point, it's kind of imperative that you have to give him that opportunity out there to start out wide, and so he can start getting those repetitions, them reps out there outside. And you see what he can do. So he do that a couple of times. Defense is gonna have to play cover four. Defense is gonna have to keep two safeties high, cover four, and then I like how the counter to Jameson Williams is what I've been saying. The counter is, guess what? Then you respect the speed. We gonna have him run the deep comeback. Then you're gonna respect the speed. You see versus Carolina, they had him run the slant, which I didn't think that was a good idea. You could say it was a drop. Go ahead, it was a drop, but he would have got killed. He would have been sent to the ER. He'd been out again. So I think a lot of the things that they're trying to do is to counteract. They're going to prepare to counteract what teams going to do sagging off of him. And that's comebacks, that's curls. Comebacks a little bit more safer because he's creating that cushion and he's coming back to the ball. Where with a curl, when you curl, you sit down and curl, guess what? You're taking damage. You're usually getting hit like you're going across the middle off that curl. So I think things they doing is minimum. You say, well, what else can they do possibly off the deep routes? I mean, you can always do post corners. You can always do the post route, skinny post. Um, you also, I mean, when he ready, you can do deep ends. You can do him. You ready? He can do whips. He can do smoke screens. But really it's that deep comeback and that curl and them deep routes is what he pretty much gonna be running. But in Alabama, he ran all type of routes. He was good in and out his break. So it ain't nothing that he can't do. It's just building up his physical strength, building up his confidence in his knee, building up his confidence in his hands. But he's a weapon that him and Jahmyr Gibbs, they have to start to get to be able to get developed because they're going to need them down the stretch, and that's going to be able to make the offense that much more complex. And then guess what? If you got to add a booster, to the team, now guess what? I got Jahmyr, I got Jameson doing well. I'm gonna add that booster where defensively. I'm gonna go out there, see if I can get a Patrick 10, see if I can get a 3 technique that can cause some problems, even though Lee McNeil been playing out his mind. I'm gonna see if I can go get some of them other weaknesses on my defense and shore that up. I'm gonna see, and then obviously you might be in a running for a veteran running back too. So you might be in a you might want to call a guy like the New York Jets for Michael Carter, just in case. So you go out there with Montgomery, Gibbs, Reynolds, and Michael Carter. You might want to make that call over there to New York and see if you can get your hands on Michael Carter. You know what I'm saying? Kid out of North Carolina. It was two of them that came out that year. Forget the other guy's name, but third quarter they got the big Jameson Williams touchdown. It's no surprise. They struggled putting points up in the third quarter, the last few weeks. Jameson gave you a big chunk play on third down. Hopefully, that go a long way in building trust between him and Jared Goff. Jared Goff is playing out of his mind. Everything is accurate. Ben Johnson, him made the adjustment on picking up the blitzes and they really caught on what Todd Bowles was doing. And that's a sign of a good football team to make adjustments. Defense was steady all day, and they closed the game out like champs. Didn't run the ball well, so it was on Goff's shoulder. Goff moved the chains. It had no answer for St. Brown because you have to respect Josh Reynolds, his explosive play. Now you got to respect Jameson Williams and his explosion. Then you got to respect Khalif Raymond because his reliability and his potential explosion. It was just too much for Tampa to have to respect, so they had to give something up. And for the most part, they gave up St. Brown. So Tampa got a good defense, man. But I think 2 games into the second quarter, you 2-0. Carolina, Tampa Bay, you going OT to Baltimore. They beat at Tottenham Hotspurs, Tottenham Stadium over there in the UK. They beat Titans today. Ryan Tannehill got knocked out the game, but it's the hardest test of the leg in my opinion on paper. You're going out to Baltimore. Lamar is a load. You played him before at Ford Field. He gonna test you physically, mentally. Um, that's a tough game going down there, depending on what the elements are, depending on what you got going on with David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs gonna be ready. Pascal and Branch could be on the verge of being ready. So it's gonna be interesting. That's a tough game. Probably gonna be underdogs in that game. But I mean, if you can get that game, then you go Monday night against the Raiders, and you can sweep the second quarter of the season. I mean, then you sitting at the trade deadline, like where can we boost that? If you only go 500, then you probably sitting there like, okay, we just gonna sit down and see what happened to the end of the season. So this Baltimore part of the second quarter is very tough. So we'll get into it. I probably won't be able to see the game. So live or report on the live, I'll be gone doing shit. But at Monday or Sunday night, I have a video up about the game. So YouTube TV tape it, and I'll be watching it when I be OT. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Check out Detroit Lions post game reaction playlist. Check out Detroit Lions talk playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitter at AKX, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the whole nine. Don't forget, check out my main channel, Goodfella TV. Check out my new channel, Free Game 89, FR33 Game 89. All that information in the link tree. Appreciate everybody support the channel. Best way to support the channel, share the video for your boy. Follow me on Facebook, all that good ish. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Peace.